Hi guys. So in my previous video, we talked about what does it look like to complete a Form W-9, and I want to walk you guys through exactly how do you do that. So I am on the Internal Revenue Services page. As you can see in the URL, I typed in irs.gov, and then I want to come over here to Forms, and I want to click on Form W-9. So here we are, Form W-9, and then I want to scroll down. And here it is, Form W-9. This is where we can actually print out the Form W-9 if we want to submit it to someone. So here it is, Form W-9, Request for Taxpayer Identification Number and Certification. Here on line number 1, this is where you want to complete the business name, the name as it is shown on the tax return. So we're going to type in ABC Incorporated because that's how the name appears on the tax return. And then if maybe there's a different name or a disregarded name, we would list it here. Maybe it's your name or someone else's name or something of that nature. Okay, maybe Cozette Incorporated. All right. And then we want to pop down to line number 3, and we want to check the appropriate box for federal tax classification. So it's either going to be a sole proprietor or an individual. It's going to be a C Corp, an S Corp, a partnership, a trust, or an estate, or it could be a limited liability corporation, or maybe the classification is a C Corp, a S Corp, or a partnership, or other, okay? Then in box number 4, if there are any exemptions that apply to your organization, you want to list them over here. You want to ensure that you list the correct address, the full street, the full address, suite number, any apartment number, anything like that. Make sure that it is identical to what's on the EIN information that you sent into the Internal Revenue Service, as well as what's on your Secretary of State information. List the city, state, and zip code. And if you have account number that you want to reference here, you most definitely can on line number 7. It is not mandatory, but you can definitely list it. Over here, I always put the requester's information. So if it is Target stores that is requesting this, maybe it could be Google, whomever is requesting this, which is typically the payer, you want to put their information in here. Then you want to complete part 2, the taxpayer identification number. This is where you want to list one or the other, your social security number or your EIN number. All right. This information is extremely important. You need for this information to match what's on line number 1 or line number 2. If you are using your name, then of course you want to put your social security number in here. I don't recommend or advise any business owner, anyone who is doing business, to utilize their social security number. Why? For a couple of different reasons. This number will be submitted and dispersed globally, and you do not want anyone to steal your identity because you've issued your social security number. And then also because you are established as a business owner, you want to ensure that your business finances are separate from your personal finances. Okay, so when you go into a financial institution, you need to ensure that you have an EIN number, which is an employer identification number for setting up your bank account, for establishing business credit, and so many other reasons. As you know, coming out of this pandemic, a lot of people applied for EIDL loans, grants, PPP, you name it, they applied for different things. Several of them were not properly prepared and did not have the appropriate EIN number in order for them to maybe get a bank account or apply for some of these things. So it's important that you determine which one you are using, the EIN or the Social Security. Whichever one you use, make sure that it ties to the information that the IRS has on file so that there are no kickbacks, okay? And then last but not least, you wanna make sure that you sign this document, sign it here, and then you wanna date it and you wanna submit it to the individual that requested this information from you. Remember, you need to complete Form W-9 in order to get paid. If someone has paid you $600 or more, they then will in turn issue you a Form 1099 miscellaneous at the end of each calendar year if they issued you $600 or more. Now, the 1099s are not required for C corporations, but they are, and S corporations, but they are required for all other entities. All right. Hopefully this information has been valuable to you. My name, of course, is Dr. Cozette M. White. I am America's #1 tax and accounting strategist. I help business owners grow highly profitable firms, looking at their KPIs, assisting them with some of the compliance things that they need to ensure that are done accurately, such as our W-9s, such as ensuring that they have their EIN, looking at tax strategies for reducing the taxable amount that they may owe to Uncle Sam. Okay, again, click the subscribe button so that you can get notified each and every time that I go live. And also make sure that you follow me on social media as Cozette M. White. All right. In the meantime, you guys go on out there, have yourself an awesome and amazing day. And I can't wait to connect with you. All right. Bye-bye.